Okay, sorry to interrupt the Steve Miller Band and Space Cowboy. This is Dennis Elsis, WNAW FM in New York, and we're going back live to Madison Square Garden.
Hello, Scott Muni with Mike Kleffner. We're back at Madison Square Garden at the Felt Forum, and we're backstage, actually. It's a crowded backstage, and there's great activity. We're at intermission with the Dead. They take a brief break in between.
There's sort of little fooling around over the microphones now. The Dead soundmen and the group and Mr. Graham are sort of having a little tete-a-tete.
It's happening tonight because of Bill Graham, because of Warner Brothers and the Grateful Dead and Columbia and New Riders of Purple Sage, the broadcast that you're listening to. And we're happy that it is uninterrupted.
You mentioned something before about sending cars to the Dead, which is a very good point. And pointing it to NEW and to the Dead mainly, is that most of that mass audience is always so opportunistic to jump on negatives. You know, something was rip-off, the sound was no good, the ticket prices were too high, we didn't get what we were supposed to. And people always gripe. Everybody is ready to gripe always, but very few people are ready to, when something good happens, like what you're doing, what the Dead are doing. And I think it would be a very nice gesture towards the station and toward the Dead to really let the people know them, let them know how they feel about that, because the only thing you ever hear is from the mass is when they're disappointed in something.
Right.
So what you brought up is a very good point.
An hour is a free 6-hour concert, roughly.
It's not that.
To them,
it would be a nice feeling, I think, for the group and for the station to know that, hey, for every 17 times we do something wrong, we always hear. You know, when something good comes along, it will be nice, for them to do that.
Okay.
It's Christmas time anyway.
Bill Graham said it, and he said it beautifully. So, drop us a note if you're happy with what happened tonight. You're turned on to it, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think the Dead would more than appreciate hearing from it, and it would be a nice gesture all around, a little Christmas card or whatever. But we've got probably about another 5-6 minutes, so I guess we're going to sort of do a little stalling here, or
Rock Scully,
John McIntyre,
and John from the group, who have been so instrumental in setting up over a series of experiments and some long, hard hours and some great equipment to come up with a sound tonight that beats anything I've ever heard on radio, in stereo, by far. I mean, take it from a symphonic orchestra right on down. This is it. And for live, anyone who's really got the equipment already knows what we're talking about, because they've been into it, and we'll get into it in the final part of the concert.
I guess we should thank again Bob Matthews.
Who did the mix. He's the one that makes it come out so clear, because his mix is miraculous, right? That's Bob
Absolutely
Matthews.
Fantastic.
Alembic sound.
He does all our records, and he's been with us in every city on this tour. This is the first part of our last leg of 3 tours, and we've been doing these concerts in every town.
With
so
the
far,
simulcast.
with the simulcast,
Right.
yeah, and it's been great because we've been able to play all the fine theaters with the best acoustics, sell out way ahead of time, and let everybody know over the radio that they'll be able to hear it. And then perhaps in the summertime we'll be able to see everybody outdoors. It's the way we like to do it. In the meanwhile, we put our records out there, and we got Warner Brothers to go along, Columbia to go along, in helping defray the cost of these broadcasts so that we could bring the concerts to a lot of people.
And the people should possibly know that these live broadcasts are not inexpensive. They're quite expensive.
Very expensive. And in New York, and hey, we had a telephone strike too. And most people don't know, but telephone lines are part of the thing in getting a broadcast from somewhere where there is no studio. Although that's not the only way to do it, but it is the only way we could do it under the circumstances. So I think what we're really trying to find out is if the audience that is there now is appreciative and wants more,
right?
Then we got to know it. If you want it,
I would say this, that the audience at home is probably laying back as far as the audience is laying back here, because they're just sort of anticipating a great second half, and this was just a fine first set.
The pause that refreshes.
Really.
Everybody hanging about.